And this is Ken Kraetzer for the New York St. Patrick's Day Parade. I have a chance to talk to a good friend and a very dedicated volunteer for the parade, Liam Murphy. Liam, good to see you. This has been quite a season already with Senator George Mitchell as our Grand Marshal.
Well, it is. The consensus is that he was the most appropriate man for this year because of his role in the peace process at home.
So important, absolutely. And now you've got an important role on March 17th in helping to set up St. Patrick's Cathedral for the big Mass that starts the day off. Tell us a little bit about the Mass and some of the preparations that go in, if you would.
Well, the Mass itself is a Mass for the deceased members of the 69th Regiment of New York. And it has been since the Civil War, since January 16th of 1863. And it has been going on. The 69th have been the military escort for the Irish Societies parading on Patrick's Day since 1851. And it's a tradition that continues regardless of other problems. Now, in the Second World War, when they were all overseas, all the young fellows, the fellows from the First World War who were too old to go to the Second World War, they paraded as the 69th New York State Militia. And so the tradition is unbroken, really, since that time.
Well, that's great. That's great history to relate for us, Liam Murphy. Liam, how did you get started working and marching in the New York St. Patrick's Day Parade?
Well, marching came easy as a student, as a Christian Brothers boy from Iona, but I became a worker in it in 1983. Frankie Byrne, former chairman, had a problem. Mike Flannery was the Grand Marshal that year, and the Dublin government objected to him because he had been a Republican and was still a Republican, and they were the fellows with the blue shirts. So they prevailed upon the government in Washington to boycott the parade. But they couldn't keep the 69th out because it was their unit day. They had the right to parade. And I was asked to find a military or a uniform band appropriately for the 69th. And I found the band from the State University of New York Maritime College at Fort Schuyler. And Admiral Miller did not have to be asked.
I know those guys pretty well.
Admiral Miller did not have to be asked twice. He only asked me one question. He says, "What is the governor doing?" I said, "The governor is marching, sir." In that case, he says, "We'll be honored to lead the parade." So I began, that made me the military liaison for the parade committee. And 2 years later, when John Cardinal O'Connor, still the Archbishop, said his first St. Patrick's Day Mass, Frankie Byrne had me attend and pay particular attention to all the details. And during that, Cardinal O'Connor suggested that we all pray for peace with justice and honor for all Ireland. And that continues to resonate with me. So when Frankie asked me, what did I think? I told him I thought the Cardinal was spot on. He says, "Good. From now on, you're going to be my chairman for dealing with the cathedral." And I've been doing it ever since 1985.
Well, that's a great story, and I do some work out at the Maritime College. The head football coach, Clayton Kenner Combs, is a good friend, outstanding Navy veteran, and great school over there. What's your favorite moment about March 17th? What's your best part of the day for you?
Well, it varies from year to year. But last year, it was the homily given, which you can go online, actually. The Archdiocese has it. You can go online and get to see a Mass on a particular date, which I thought was fantastic. And it was really quite good. But every year it's different. But my greatest single moment is the one I already mentioned, when John Cardinal O'Connor said we should all pray for peace with justice and honor for all Ireland.
And I'll bet it's a great moment for you when all of the soldiers from the 69th Regiment march into St. Patrick's Cathedral behind their color guard.
It is. The pageantry begins at the stroke of 8 o'clock. The big front doors open, and Pipe Major Joe Brady leads the regiment in right up the center aisle. And it is pure pageantry, not to be missed.
Absolutely. Liam Murphy, thank you for all the work you do to contribute to the New York St. Patrick's Day Parade.
It is an honor to be able to do so. Yeah.
Liam, we'll see you on March 17th. This is Ken Kraetzer for the New York St. Patrick's Day